This is Vigalantee for ReasonForRhymes.com. TheRealVigilante.com is more than music. It's a movement in your black world. On the line right here, I have a homeboy that I grew up with, and he's doing big things in the city of Washington, Georgia. He's a councilman, and he goes by the name of Marion Tutt. What's going on, brother?
How you doing, Roger? What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Not much. Just very concerned about what's going on in Washington, Georgia, man. Since that's the town I was raised in, and I see you doing big work down there. You're trying to get people out to vote and things like that. You're having a hard time to getting people, to understand the seriousness of what's going down. So I figured I would like to use this national platform to let other people know the things that's going down in this small town where a lot of blacks are getting shot in the stick. So kind of tell us what's going on.
Okay, thanks, Roger. Thanks for, giving me the opportunity to, speak some knowledge out what's going on in our little rural town here in Washington, Georgia. First of all, I'd like you to know that Washington, Georgia is one of these small, very small, quiet, rural communities down in Georgia, as you know. But here lately, there's some discrepancies been going on in our city government, especially with our new mayor that we have here now. For instance, we have a very heated topic issue on our police department. And basically what's going on, our mayor wants to eliminate the police department by defunding it. Now, I will state to you this here. Now, the city of Washington is not in a dire financial position where we have to do this. I will say for the record, we must make some budget cuts across the board to really kind of balance out our budget. But our mayor, he's not going by the due process, Roger, of how doing it. He's taking action all in his hands. There's no meetings of the police committee. The chief of police herself was not even brought to the table. And so what we have here is a debacle here, and it got out into the community. Now that the community is willing to wanted to speak out on it because we want to keep our police department. Not to mention, Roger, here a couple of weeks ago, we just had 2 murders in our town. We need to keep our police department, and not to mention, when industry come to your town, here's one infrastructure where they look at. They look at police, they look at fire, they're looking at emergency. If those 3 infrastructures are not intact, it's hard to attract our industries in Washington. We tried to talk to our young mayor that is very adamant of doing things his way. We asked to be brought to the table. Now, Washington is about 63% African American. There are more blacks in the city of Washington than there are whites. But now, I don't even want to make it a black and white issue. But let's stick to the facts. This mayor has never accomplished any of his goals. His goals was transparency in our government. That's not happened. His job was to bring electric rates down. He voted to increase them 2 straight years. He advocated for bringing jobs. There's not one job that has been created since his 3.5 years of being in office.
That is crazy. And what's crazy, as I'm hearing the facts that you're bringing to me, because I kind of look over and check out some things, by it being 63% black, 2 things. First thing is, where's our voting power to kind of change this situation up? Second thing is, Washington have a tradition of having factories come there. You think about Edison Plastic and all the pet milk, in Washington heyday, all these factories was coming into Washington, Georgia, and were giving a lot of blacks as well as white jobs. Now it's becoming barren, and this mayor is in, and he's trying to eliminate the police department. Come on, are you crazy?
Of course. And it's on record. Let's talk about. Let me elaborate on voting power. Now, these are some statistics where I must tell you. Now, when it comes to African American and to the white vote, now, historically, now, the white citizens, they come out to vote. I got to give them credit where credit due. They'll come out to vote. But what we have and what I see in the black communities is our young people are not getting fully engaged to vote. That's where we are falling weak at the vote. And what I've been doing is trying to educate them on the power of the vote. No matter how you look at it, we must become politically mature. We must become politically involved because voting plays an aspect to every party. As you look at Georgia, Georgia is a Republican-controlled state, from the governor all the way down to the every leadership is controlled by Republicans. As you see what the Republicans are doing nationwide, we don't have to talk about it. Let's see. So what's happening in Washington with the vote, we have the numbers of population, but we don't have the numbers of them actually coming out to vote. First of all, you got some of them on probation. They can't vote. Then you have some of them that I talked to that don't even care. And then you have some of them, really don't really know which way to go. So when you put that mixture in and you put that element in, they outvote us. So
and that's what we got to change, though. We have to change that. We got to find some way for leaders like you, Toombs McClendon, Sherman Cottrell, throw up rallies, parties, or something, because really this type of thing is happening, believe it or not, nationwide. Of youth out there to vote, especially in matters like this. You got a lot of people that went out and voted for Obama, but that's a national thing. But the local level is where it counts at, because that's where we stay at, inside of the local areas of vote. And I think that we have to find some way to find people to sit down, to help you get this going on in Washington, because right now, by it being 63%, law of averages, if you could just get 50% of them or 40% of them to vote, you still outnumber them. And that's something that we got to understand, if they plan on having jobs there. If not, that town, to me, going to be zombie land. It's going to be controlled. And I think a lot of people, again, want it to be small town farming, because I look at, man, when I was living Greene County, Greene County seems to be taking the place of what Washington used to be, actually getting business there and stuff like that. How does that happen, and what can we do on the outside?
Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me? I'm here.
Okay, yeah, you kind of faded out on me. I hear you now. I hear you now.
Okay.
I'm back
here.
Go
ahead.
Okay, and let me elaborate on something. You remember, Roger, when you was in Washington, Washington, Georgia was Mecca for manufacturing. Yeah. We were Mecca. Hey, look, we had people from all over town coming into Washington. Everybody had jobs. Life was good. But what happened was a global attack that happened to manufacturing. As you see, it went overseas. Okay, when those jobs left Washington, we were caught with our pants down, because Washington, Georgia was not set up for the global turnaround that was happening in America now. Those jobs are gone. So we must look in another direction of technology, jobs of that nature. Now, I advocated and got an Athens Tech program here in Washington, where we have that here now, Roger, but we must really kind of let that flourish and go out and get the right classes that we need to attract jobs in Washington. Now, Washington was known, first of all, let me tell you what Washington, Georgia is known for. Washington, Georgia is known for agriculture and timber. That's what we are known for. So when you look at that, when industry look at us as that, and they're looking to bring in technology, they're going to go somewhere else. First, and the second of all, Roger, these are statistics by fact. Let me tell you something. Our educational system in our public schools, from Elberton, Thompson, Oglethorpe, Lincoln County, guess who has the lowest high school graduation rate among those counties? Washington, Georgia. In 2013, only 50 plus, I think it's like 56% of our school graduated from high school. And guess what? Out of that 56%, the African American has the lowest upper graduation rates. So we got a problem there. When I go out and do my classes and do seminars, the first thing they think about is when you want to attract businesses to your community, they look at the education. They look at the education. Do you have a well-trained workforce? Well, Roger, we do not. We do not have it. So you look at all those mechanisms that we're then attacked on, and then you look at mayor and council. Hey, it's more than mayor and council. Yeah. It's way more than that. It's deep now, Roger. And what we need to do is educate our people. First thing, educate them why you should vote. This is why you should vote. You need to change leadership. You have to change leadership, Roger, to change this. Yeah. And we have the power to do it if we can get fully engaged. Okay. Now, what can we do? What would be the first step? I want to sum this up because I see a lot. Like you said, you just had 2 murders that happened, back to back in a sense. Back to back, and it's very important to have a police force. Now, do the police force have to step their game up? Probably so, but who cares? You still need a police force that knows the city. Sheriffs, no disrespect to the sheriff, but they deal on the outskirts. They don't know the city. You know what I'm saying? They don't know the city. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna sum this up with this is my plan. I'm going for my plan. The first thing you have to do on city council. We must sit down at the table together, not a black and the white. We have to sit down. This is what we got to do. All right, to save the police department, what we have to do, we have to cut across the board. When you cut across the board, I'm going to have to cut some things that I'm passionate about. They're going to have to cut some things they're passionate about. All right, once we cut the board, the police department already done went in and cut their budget. All right, we saved the police department. All right, that's a done deal. All right, now, economic development. This is some things we got to do. We must hire our economic development team to go out and sit down at the table with us, find out what we're known for, find out what we can offer our industry, put that in an incentive package. We need a bold incentive package to bring out. And then we need that person and that team, which is going to take some money, to go out to these industries in Atlanta, in the Georgia area. Hey, this is Washington. Washington owns their own electricity. We own our own water and sewer. So we got control of it, and we can control the tax rate. We can offer those incentive packages. That's what you do. Third of all, then you work with the public school education. You need to work with that school education to get those graduation rates sky high. That's why you get those graduations sky high. And how you do that, you have to get some retired educators, get a group of them together and start assessing where we can do this and get it up. That's how we do it. Once those infrastructures are intact, Roger, I assure you, down the future, we will be on the table. Industries were looking at Washington because I'm telling you something. A lot of people are looking at small towns. They're tired of going into these big cities and all the hustle and bustle. They want to come to a small community. If we get those infrastructures in place, Roger, we'll be in the hunt for jobs. But if not in closing, we got problems. We do. That's our problem. And I agree wholeheartedly with what you're saying, because you see that county in Kansas City. It was amazing how Kansas City on the Kansas side was that, it was, it's a city, of course, but, it didn't have industry. Then we accepted the racetrack, Kansas Speedway. And from that racetrack, Marion, everything got built around it, man. Everything. It looks like a totally different city. And see, it's just like a magnet. Everything surrounds it, and it brings businesses. And I must reiterate something. We have council members on the council right now that stopped Walmart from coming in here years ago. Wow. Of course. That's very disappointing. That's disappointing. See, I'm not making black or white issues about the thing, but those are the ones that stopped economic growth years ago. And they're killing the city. They killed it. And because Walmart guarantees growth. Guarantees growth. And see, they was worried about the mom and pop shops that was in town that we were going to put them out of business. Well, I always say, well, how's that working out for you now?
Yeah.
How is that working out for you? So we must do bold changes. We must have bold leadership, and we must get the community involved at large.
Those
are the facts.
That's what it is.
Those are the facts.
Hey, man, I appreciate you coming on. I'm going to get you on every so often to get updates about what's going on, and we're going to push this because I hold this, I hold Washington close to my heart, man. So I definitely want to see some things in there going like it used to be, man. That used to be parks and recreation. Everything used to be flourishing. And, people, legends like Pete Gottrell that used to do things to keep the kids in motion. We got to get that back. Nathan Colors, who did things, we want to keep that thing going. And Mr. Fennell, man, I tell you, that touched my heart, man. Seeing him speak, man. I understand this guy had, a vocal club at the time, teaching people about jobs and things like that, man. And, along with his wife, man, to see people like that, the Jackson families, all that, man, that gave us hope. We got to continue pushing that, man, and I'm standing behind you strong in solidarity that we're going to change it. We're going to find some young people that understand that, and we're going to turn up for Washington, man. So you definitely got my support because I'm from there. As far as I'm concerned, I'm from there, and we're gonna get busy, man. I'm going to have you back on, man, so I'm glad.
I appreciate it.
Before I get you off here, let people know where they can reach you at, like your Facebook or something like that, where they can get in touch with you at.
Okay, my Facebook page is, go ahead and put on Marion Tutt Jr. Hit me up on Facebook. My email address is mariontutt@hotmail.com. My cell phone number is 706-318-0873. I'll be glad to talk to anyone about the problems down here in Washington and what we have to offer. And, Roger, I want to just take this opportunity to just thank you for interviewing me and getting this message out. I knew you from a long way, and I'm proud of the things that you're doing over in Kansas City because, hey, look, you showed me that you care and you never forgot where you come from.
That's right, and I appreciate you, brother. I'm never going to forget that, man. One thing I ask for you to do, Marion, is find somebody that can make a Sam Flint burger for me.
Hey, I met you this problem. I get you a duplicate.
Okay.
All right, man. God bless you, man. You take care of yourself.
God bless you too, man.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
Okay, man. This has been Vigilante for Reason for Rhymes, and we are out, therealvigilante.com. And I thank Marion Tutt again for coming on the show, and we are out.